Wednesday, April 30th, 2020. I'm sorry, not April 20th, 30th. Heller. What date are we on?
May 14th.
May 14th. Still May 14th, 2025. And I want to, first of all, introduce my committee staff. Behind me is Trustee Aide Pohai Ryan and Secretary Summer Soares. To my left is the handsome Board Counsel Naive Waterman. To my right, the handsome gentleman of Vice Chair John Waihe'e. Pohai, at this time, I'd like to call upon you to do a roll call for us, please.
Trustee Ahuna. Trustee Akaka.
Here.
Trustee Akina is excused. Trustee Galuteria.
Here.
Trustee Lindsay. Trustee Souza. Vice Chair Waihe'e. Trustee Kahele. And Chair Alapa.
Present.
Quorum is established, 8 present.
All right, mahalo, Pohai. All right, now I'd like to remind everyone, especially our trustees, to turn on your microphone or take yourself off mute if you're, and also if you're on Zoom, you may speak so that it records properly in our video recording of this meeting, or it will be inaudible for us to, for record keeping purposes. And as for the public testimonies, the following rules apply so that we are all respectful of everyone wanting to participate today. First, for the public testimony, it should be limited to matters listed on the meeting agenda and will occur prior to any listed item's conclusion or vote. If you begin to address other issues not on today's meeting agenda, the BF Chair will call you out of order and direct you to limit your testimony to what's listed on the agenda. Testifiers' mics will be unmuted when it is your turn to testify. If you're not audible, you will be muted and the next testifier will be called. Oral testimony online will be limited to 5 minutes. Your mic will be automatically muted once you have completed your oral testimony or if your allotted time for testimony expires. Please log off after testifying. Otherwise, staff will be muting you and we'll move on to our next testifier. Pohai, are there any testifiers today?
Yes, we have one in person, but I'd like to ask first if Trustee Ahuna could test his mic.
Aye.
Okay.
Mahalo.
All right, mahalo.
We have, yes, one testifier in person for the action item.
Okay, we'll bring her on shortly. At this time, I'd like to call upon CEO Kapuhana Stacy Ferreira to announce the administrative staff joining her.
Yora. Today, joining us in person and online, we have our Chief Operating Officer, Kehau Pu'u, Chief Financial Officer, Ramona Hink, Endowment Director, Ryan Lee, Financial Analyst, Grace Chen, Interim Corporation Counsel, Everett Ota, Interim Senior Legal Counsel, Nichi Ozawa, Director of Human Resources, Corey Nakamoto, Interim IT Director, Kevin Chalk, and IT Assistant, Asuka Rose. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Stacy. On to item 2, approval of minutes will be deferred. If you'd like to watch the previous BF committee meetings, you may go to our website at www.oha.org/livestream to view past meetings. There is also no old business for item 3. And so on the agenda, we will now move on to item 4. Item 4 is our new business. And at this time, it's the first item for new business, item A. Action item BF number 25-38, approval of OHA funding for a Akuokoa Lahui event sponsorship to Halekua for the 2025 Waikoloa Music and Cultural Festival event on June 14th through the 15th, 2025, in the amount of $9,000.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
Mahalo. Moved by Trustee Waihe'e and second by Trustee Akaka. At this time, I'd like to call upon our Kapunui Pu'u to take over this item for us. Mahalo.
Aloha and mahalo, Chair Alapa. So the administration is recommending funding for this event, the Waikoloa Musical and Cultural Festival, to be held next month on the island of Hawaii. It will feature music, entertainment, which is not an allowed cost under our grant but also cultural workshops and hula presentations. It's a 2-day event, and we are in full support of this event.
Mahalo. At this time, we'd like to call upon our testifier.
Rachel Makaiwi Tuiasa Sopo.
Aloha. Thank you for having me here today.
Aloha, Rachel. Welcome.
Just to start, I am a managing director at Halekua, which is a nonprofit that was organized by Manaola Yap and Zachary Pang with a mission to empower humanity through Indigenous culture, values, and traditions. Our main focus right now is to support Native Hawaiian entrepreneurs in navigating modern commerce through an Indigenous framework. As we know, it's hard to run a business already, and it's even harder for our Native Hawaiian business owners to feel like they're successful and pono at the same time. And so that's what our programming revolves around. We mainly have a immersive mentorship cohort, which we are on. We just completed 3 cohorts and we're preparing for our 4th now. But we've since we're additionally pivoting to increase our outreach through community events, particularly vendor marketplaces for our small business owners in Hawaii. And so we are heading to Waikoloa next month for Father's Day weekend to help host the Waikoloa Music and Cultural Festival. We are in charge of hosting the official marketplace for the Waikoloa Music and Cultural Festival. So those of you who are from Hawaii Island, you might remember the Waikiki Music Festival that occurred in the 90s and in the early 2000s. And so this is a revival of the Waikiki Music Festival with a twist. It's going to be in Waikoloa. Yeah, it's going to be in Waikoloa instead. And it was formerly organized by Edward Yap, and he shared, that we had tens of thousands of people show up to enjoy music, culture, to enjoy food, and just spend time with each other. He called it the Woodstock of Hawaiian music, essentially, and at an open air venue. And so we are going to be at the Queen's Bowl this year at Waikoloa, which is an open air venue, trying to bring that feeling back. But this year it's going to be organized by Kumunani Lemyap and Margot Malbano. And again, with a little twist. And so, Halekua, we're honored to be hosting the Heritage Marketplace to showcase the artistry and the innovation of our Hawaiian entrepreneurs. However, we are facing a little bit of a challenge in getting our vendors signed up due to imposing a vendor fee so that we can cover our venue rental. And so that's where we're seeking support, is to help us be able to offset our costs to the vendors so that they can participate and be profitable, not just be there, but have less expenses on their plate. We already know that there's an increase in everything cost-wise lately. And so if we can remove that barrier for our vendors, it would be really helpful for vendors to participate and not just be there, but to be able to provide authentic interaction with the local community as well as the visitor community that will be there. We want to be able to highlight, our innovation and artistry within our communities, and to have that exchange available to, like I said, both the local and the visitor community that we anticipate will be at this event. So at the heart of everything, this is Ohana. On Father's Day weekend, a year after Edward Yap, his passing, his family is, continuing his legacy in his honor on Father's Day weekend to host this event. And I know that, their immediate family, extended family, and everyone in the community is going to pull through to make this event a success. And I just want to end there and say thank you for supporting Native Hawaiian small businesses in Hawaii.
Mahalo, thank you so much. Is there any questions or from our board? Go ahead,
Sure.
Kai.
Hey, thanks for coming and testifying. Really appreciate it. And we really appreciate when
applicants come in person to the board and take the time to do that. So mahalo. I guess my questions would be maybe dual, since we have both of you here. In the opportunities for OHA recognition, there's a series of opportunities to include speaking opportunities for the OHA, for a OHA rep, a table for program information at the event. Of course, you know, the opportunity to have OHA's logo on event flyers or signage. Do you guys plan to update the current flyer for the event that was provided in our packet to reflect OHA's logo?
Yes, if we, whatever sponsorship we get, we will be updating all flyers, all, even with our radio and any other promotion that happens for the event, we will be able to include OHA in everything and have the table, have a speaker available. So yes.
Okay, how do we plan to have an OHA rep at this event? And this is at the Marriott, right? You guys were gonna be Marriott Hotel.
The vendor marketplace will be at the Marriott Hotel Ballroom. The event in itself will spread throughout the whole beach resort. So the Queen's Bowl will have the music and food vendors throughout the Queen's Marketplace and the King shops. They'll have activities, hula, games. So it's going to be throughout the entire venue, but our portion is at the Marriott.
Okay, so Kiao, do you think we intend to have any BSA support for a table, or even the opportunity to do speaking on a stage or something to that effect? Just wondering.
So
I know we're short-staffed, but just asking.
yeah, so normally what we do is, after an event is approved, our point of contact will work with Lehua, one, if there's an opportunity for trustees to attend or speak. And so that's when she'll send out her email and collect RSVPs. And then, we'll also work with our beneficiary services staff to see if anybody's available to staff the table. If not, and especially on Hawaii Island, right, we have just one, then we try to do a call out to other staff, like beyond just our beneficiary services group. It's been, I would say 50-50 in terms of our ability to show up and staff a table. And then I do want to add that we, mahalo to the small group of trustee aides. So we're gonna start, I think it's this month, to have some of your aides be the point of contact with organizations. So once they're approved, they will be that face for the organization and will help to coordinate appearances, you know, showing up and all of that. So they'll be the bridge between OHA and the community org. But that's our process.
Great. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, go ahead, trustee Akalka.
As the presentation moved along and reading the material here, I just wanted to mention to the trustees, this feels very reminiscent to our sponsorship of the 3-day Mele Manaka at the SCP Hotel, where we wanted to provide that opportunity for Native Hawaiian owned businesses to be able to have their booth there, where it's not so much of a challenge for them to be there because of the cost factor. Mahalo.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? All right, mahalo. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Rachel, for
Thank
coming
you.
here.
Thank you,
Really
everybody.
appreciate you. All right, Lynn, let's have a roll call vote, please.
To approve action item.
Yes, to approve action item
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
25, 30.
trustee Akaka, trustee Galuteria, trustee Kahele,
Aye.
trustee Lindsay, trustee Souza.
Aye.
Vice Chair Waihe'e
Yes.
and Chair Alapa.
Yes,
Motion passes.
mahalo for that. Okay, so folks, here we're going to come to a little break right now. We're going to really need a lot of the energy as we begin the budget briefings right after this. So if we could take a quick lunch break, we have for our budget, for our board staff, and for our board of trustees. We're going to adjourn to adjacent room here and get some food, get us energy up because we're gonna need it for the second half of our briefings today. So, you ready? Yes. Okay, so about what, 20 minutes? You guys do a 20-minute lunch break? Is that good enough? Okay, 30. Okay, 12 o'clock. Come back at 12 and then we're gonna hit the ground running after this. All right, so we're gonna take a recess. Let's go.